Good morning, card community. It is RJ, and it is time for the Sunday Trivia Recap. Hooray! Loud cheers, applause, fireworks going off, mass hysteria in the street, people filling up their water pistols with hard liquor and spraying it at people. That's how crazy it is today, people. But yet we still have time to do some fantastic trivia, answers, and prizes, all right? Let's get to it. Congratulations to everybody who made the baseball playoffs. Today is the last day of the season. I think there's one or two kind of borderline wild card teams remaining, but that's kind of unimportant to us here in Philadelphia. Philadelphia clinched the top wild card spot in the National League a couple days ago. I think they're going to be facing off the Marlins, facing off against the Marlins in the first round starting Tuesday. So very exciting here in Philly. A little nervous because we always seem to have trouble with the Marlins, but I guess that goes with the territory, right? Anyway, so let's get to our trivia and prizes, all right? We jump back to Monday, actually. So on Monday, my question was, this week was all about the pennant races in baseball's history and things like that. And one of the most famous playoff runs was 1951, the Dodgers and the Giants, and the Dodgers were way ahead. The Giants were way behind in the middle of the season, and the Dodgers manager, I believe, I might be a little twisted on that, but the Dodgers manager at the time made a smart-ass comment about how the Dodgers, hey, are the Giants still even in the league or something like that? And the Giants came back and tied them on the final day. And then under National League rules, there was a 3-game playoff, not a 1-game one and done. There was a 3-game playoff under the National League rules at that time. They split the first 2 games, and then there was the classic final game. Both teams were in New York. Remember, the Dodgers played in Ebbets Field, and the Giants played in Polo Grounds. So the question I gave to you is, where was that final game played? That famous game where Bobby Thompson hit the home run to send them into the World Series, where they promptly got swept by the Yankees. Let's not forget that. I mean, the Yankees were in the middle of their 5-year run of 5 straight World Series championships. So I mean, everybody was so thrilled. The Giants getting to the pennant is a legendary act, but never forget the Yankees pounded them in the World Series. So anyway, I said, where was the final game played? The answer is New York's Polo Grounds. This is a card from, I believe, 1994. 95. Phil Rizzuto's The National Pastime. Cards that I have of just a bunch of really old prints about baseball and baseball artifacts, and this is a artist's rendering of the Polo Grounds. Center field is here, obviously. Home plate in the back, the grandstands in the background are way down there. So this is an old thing of Polo Grounds. What you're playing for, really cool card from Conlon Collection. It's a base set card. It's not an insert or anything unique. There's a subset called Why Not in the Hall of Fame, featuring Joe Jackson. There were several players, Why Not in the Hall of Fame. A couple of them have actually made the Hall of Fame since then. But this is a great card of Joe Jackson, actually on the Cleveland Indians at the time. So this is one of his earlier images. And he went on to a great career, obviously, but because of the Black Sox scandal, that's why he's not in the Hall of Fame. But that's your card, a Joe Jackson card. And the people on the screen were kind enough to throw out a guess for me. Pretty much everybody got this one. There weren't too many who didn't know the Polo Grounds was the answer right off the bat. Let me see, was there a shout out I wanted to give? I like to shout out the newbies here. So Card Collector 65JW is not necessarily new, but it's a long time since I've seen you, sir. So thanks for dropping by. I appreciate your return. Everybody else is pretty much an RJ regular, so to speak. So, all right, so let's get to it. On my channel, we shuffle once and spin. You must hit 3 times on my channel to win. The reason being, I like to draw out the suspense. And since not many people enter my contest, in this case I got only 14, it gives everybody a better chance to win. And takes a little longer, so it's more fun, I think. So anyway, here we go. Spin once. Oh, the sound's off. I can't have that. I need the little ticker sound. It's so much better. There you go. So this past week, a lot of mail, a lot of interesting things, and I'm going to show that's going to be what I'm showing off during the upcoming video. And one of the things I've noticed a lot of times, I pre-record all my videos on Saturday. So every video you will see in the upcoming week, although I may speak about it as if it is the particular day that you're watching it, they all get filmed on Saturday mornings. And a lot of times what I find is that, since it's Saturday morning, it's before the mail arrives at my house, so I don't know what's going to come in the mail that day. But there have been a number of times when either something came in the mail, or perhaps I stopped off at my local LCS guy and picked up some cards or something cool to show off. And then I get home and I've already pre-filmed all my videos, and I have to wait like an extra week to share those things with you. Well, that kind of happened again yesterday, but not in the same way. That's not 3 for 3 good nerds. No, okay. So anyway, so I live in a little town. That's 3 for Tommy Markwell, I know. Give me 1 second. Yeah, 3 for Tommy Markwell. Okay. Congrats to you, sir, Tommy. You will be getting this awesome Joe Jackson card. And we're going to move on to Wednesday. I'll finish the story in a bit. So on Wednesday, my question was, this, again, playoff related. So this team, was in last place on the July the 4th. For the middle of the season, this place was in last place. This team was in last place in the middle of the season on July 4th. However, at the end of the season, they held a 10.5 game lead over second place New York. And when I asked the questions, I was specific, saying it was the New York Giants. That at least allowed you to know that this had to have happened prior to 1958. So I said, what was the team? What was the team, and in what year did it happen? The answer is the 1914 Atlanta Braves. Now this here is a picture of Johnny Evers. I say Evers. I know some people will say Evers, but I believe his name is pronounced Evers. So this is a picture of Johnny Evers, Boston's second baseman from that year. So the best I could come up with it, that was a card representing the 1914 Braves. They were often called, still to this day, the Miracle Braves, because it was the first time such a feat had been accomplished in baseball, where a team was so far back and finished so far ahead. It was just a miracle that they had accomplished that fact. So that was your answer. Your prize you're still playing for, is this great 1981 Donruss Johnny Bench card. If you recall, I mentioned, unfortunately, it's kind of like the registration is off. It's slant cut, unfortunately, but it's still a pretty card. Very sharp corners, even though it is twisted a bit. So the individuals on the screen here were kind enough to send out a guess for that one. I'm going to slowly go up so you can see them all. Tommy Markwell, you are out. You cannot win but once a week on my channel. Sometimes I think I want to make that once every 2 weeks, because I do see a lot of the same people winning often. But I'm going to leave it alone. It's all by chance. And, if I wanted to make sure everybody got a prize, I'd just send everybody a prize. So I don't want to be too manipulative of the way things are done. So Card Hobbyist was back. The Card Hobbyist came in this time. Card Hobbyist is not necessarily new, but good to see you, sir. Good to see everybody, all the regulars. I love my regulars. Maybe like the next time I'll go through and shout out all my regulars. So, all right, so we're going to again shuffle once and spin. You must hit 3 times. So good luck to everybody else. So I say I live in a small town in Pennsylvania on the eastern side of the state. All right. And the reason I'm saying this is because I there's a guy on Facebook Marketplace who is selling off his collection. Now, what does he have in his collection? He's an autograph collector. Now, autographs of what? The amazing answer is pretty much anything. He has a vast collection of sports memorabilia that is autographed. He has a vast collection of entertainment material that is autographed, and he has a smaller collection of politics and pop culture that is autographed. And he is, for several years now, he's been selling off that collection. Now, I find that unfortunately, he does want top price, but I am able to go in once in a while and pick up. He doesn't, in his mind, he doesn't want to sell for less than he bought, kind of thing. Anyway, I went to his house the other day. It's been a while, and he reached out to me a couple months ago and said, "Hey, you want to come over and take a look again?" And at the time, I just didn't have the money, but this time I did. I went out there and looked through his stuff again. Now, I know what he has, because I've been there once before. Oh, Adam's Card Closet. Adam. 3 for Adam today. Okay. Hey, congrats to Adam. Adam, you're going to get a cool Johnny Bench 1981 Donruss card. A very nice card. Crisp edges, sharp corners, and all that. But again, sadly, the registration is slightly off. But anyway, you get that awesome card. So, going on to Friday. Friday's question. There was a season recently where at the end of the year, all 4, and this is before they changed the format last year. So there was only one wild card in each. What do you want to say? There was only one wild card in each league, so you had 4 playoff teams. And at the end of the season, 4 teams were tied. 2 teams in the American League were tied for the wild card spot on the last day of the season, and 2 teams in the National League were tied for that final wild card spot. So now none of the 2 teams were playing each other. They were all playing separate teams. So you had 4 games, 4, that were going on almost simultaneously to decide who the wild card contenders were. And there were other games going on to determine home field advantage and things like that. But those 4 games were like the whole baseball world stopped to watch the games. And not only that, 3 of the games were really close up until it was almost walk-off wins. So, I mean, it was a very, very exciting day in baseball. And I said, what year did that happen? Now, I do want to remind everybody that, well, let me do this. I'll tell you what year it was. It was 2011. And I'm going to show off a card here. This is my 2011 David Price Topps Opening Day card. David Price was a member of the Tampa Bay Rays. Actually, this is 2012, but this would have been after that year. David Price was the man who started the game for the Rays against the Yankees and got clobbered and put a 7-0 hole early. So he was a part of that great Rays comeback. So the Tampa Bay Rays were one of the 4 teams tied for the wild card, and they actually won and went to the playoffs. In the other league, it was the Cardinals who won and went to the playoffs. What you're playing for on that one is a really cool Conlon collection card. This is a random insert variation, I believe, from the 1993 Conlon collection. Nope, this one's from 1994. It's a great colorized image of Walter Johnson shaking hands with Nolan Ryan. If you remember, I talked about this card. I think it says here on the back, but the actual picture has Walter Johnson shaking hands with Lou Gehrig. He's the actual person that was in the picture. But this is a really cool card for any baseball fan with these 2 awesome pitchers kind of meeting each other, so to speak. It's the colorized version. It's insert, not a part of the main set. That is what you're playing for. So Tommy Markwell again on Friday. Tommy, you are out. Cannot win but once. I don't think Adam did not put in a guess on this one, so we're good here. I will shuffle once and spin. And good luck to everybody. So I was saying this individual, he's selling off his collection, and he says he uses Facebook Mark. I know he uses Facebook Marketplace. I don't think there's anywhere else he advertises, but he has apparently a regular group of people come by as their budget allows to pick up stuff. Now he's got, in addition to the autographs, he does have a whole lot of sports memorabilia, cards, and things like that. A whole room filled with sports stuff. And one of the things he had, and I kind of hope John from the Wade Boggs fan is at least listening or comes across this video, because one of the things I found in there that I assume John might have this item, but it's such a rare and unique item. Maybe he doesn't. But this is like in the early 90s, before CDs had become extremely popular. But there was a cassette tape this guy had of a couple different players actually singing Happy Birthday. That is Card Collector 65JW's third hit. Welcome back, sir. And congrats to you on getting this. I think I still have your address. So if I don't, I'll let you know, but I'll be able to get that card out to you. So let me finish my story real quick about this collector. He has a couple, like 3 or 4 different cassette tapes of players. It appears like it's a really short one where they're just singing Happy Birthday. So you could pop it into your cassette player and play Happy Birthday for your kid or something like that, I guess. And one of the ones he has is Wade Boggs. And it's still in the original packaging, still looks pristine. And I wasn't sure if John had that. So I commented on one of his posts about this fact, but if anybody else knows him, knows how to get in contact with him directly, reach out and tell him, because again, it's a really cool item, and if it's something he doesn't have, I'd like to put him in touch with this collector. And also, if anybody else is interested in autographs or sports memorabilia, and he has everything. He's not like limited to just the Phillies, since we're in this area, or the Yankees, because a lot of people up here in the Northeast of the country love the Yankees, even if they're not in New York City. So he had a lot of Phillies and Yankee stuff, and certainly because we're a suburb of Philadelphia where I live, he had a lot of Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and Sixers items. A whole lot of great stuff. And as I was saying earlier, I said there comes a time when I film my videos Saturday morning and I go out and pick up new things I want to show off, but I got to wait a week. Well, I picked up a number of things from this guy's house. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait a week before I can show them to y'all, which is, it's fine. It's actually not a big deal, because at least I know I have something to show off next week. So anyway, if you live on the eastern half of the Pennsylvania, or western half of Jersey, whatever, and you want to go visit this guy's house, let me know. I'll make sure you guys get in. It's his whole house, the whole house, top to bottom. Well, I shouldn't say top to bottom. The main living room, the main level is completely inundated with baseball or sports and autograph memorabilia. The whole main level, plus the whole basement area is just, he's got so much stuff. It's like walking through a cramped hoarder's house or something like that down to the basement. But again, it's fantastic because he's getting rid of all of it. And you never know what you might find. So anyway, yeah, if you're within driving distance and you want to take a look, reach out to me and I'll make sure you get in. He's happily letting everybody in to see his stuff. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you all enjoyed my trivia video. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate everybody's support, as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll have more great trivia and prizes to give away next week. I moved off of the playoff theme, but even though I probably should have. But maybe I'll start a World Series questions in a couple weeks, since we're going to be getting into that area. And I definitely hope the Phillies make it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Come back again next week. And everybody, hope you had a great weekend and have a great week coming. Thanks for watching. Take care.